maybe that was drawn to death.
I was thinking that. I really was. So, like, for you, welcome back to God of War, everyone. Um,
Yeah.
with God of War Remastered specifically. Keep in mind, like, the gameplay is remastered, not the cutscenes. The cutscenes are still the same cutscenes from the PlayStation 2, and you
Yeah,
will
we still got the
notice.
blocky blocks.
Yeah,
We
not
got all those
actually.
pixels.
That's the thing. It's not bad. Like when I did like Chains of Olympus remastered. Like yeah, you could tell that was not designed for the PlayStation 3. But yeah, what game on what console did you play that made you go, okay, they could do better?
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, I went that way just to get that chest. That was the only thing I went there for. Alright.
Like in general, like they could do like the. What do you mean? Like
Like when I say
specify.
better, I mean the like up until that point, like the games you played have been like, okay, this is pretty good. But then a game came along and like graphically or visually, you were like, oh, they can do better. But
Hmm.
the games up until this point just aren't that good. Like they aren't bad, just not as good. He ain't that.
I'm trying to think of like the first game that like really made me feel that way.
I will be 1,000% honest, and it's not to sound biased. The first PS3 game I played that made me go, okay, was God of War 3. And I would like to point out that yeah, for a long time, like when I got my PS3, I had a PS3 and an Xbox 360. I was playing them both on a 22-inch monitor, like a 22-inch monitor. And then I got my 32-inch, and that's when I got the HDMI cables. And it wasn't until I got the HDMI plugged in and I like saw what God of War 3 was. But I remember those days, like those were simpler times. Like things in life hadn't gotten bad yet, and just those were simpler times, and I do miss them. I do miss them from time to time. And it was
Hmm.
God of War 3. It was okay. It was the fact that with God of War 3, cutscenes, God of War 3 and Ascension both did this, but God of War 3 was the first one. Cutscenes and gameplay were the same. Like there was no like quick like the game like loads and then the cutscene plays. No, the cutscene went into the gameplay and vice versa. Like it was in the same engine. I don't know if the shit was pre-rendered or like what the situation was, but that was like my take on it. I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. And the exact opposite of that was Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I played on PS4. For the PS4, Revelations 2 made me go, oh, this isn't that good. Like, I wasn't to say that it was bad, bad to the bone, but it made me think, okay, like, they just didn't try as hard as they could have with this title. They just didn't. They just didn't try as hard. And I was like, oh, well, that's what you want to do. And like I still feel like the Kratos, my guy. There you go. Like the characters and the design was okay, but when I started to really look at the textures of the background and like everything but the characters, I was like, yeah, this looks kind of shit. Like this looks just a little shitty, and like that was like the first time. I honestly don't need that.
So I can't say that like from all aspects type of thing, but I can point out specific games that I've played over the years that like really made me like think like, oh, this is how this specific thing is done. So like the first game I can think of that really made me go like, oh, this is what facial texture technology is going to be like. This is really awesome. Like this is the next step. Like
LA Noir.
this is it wasn't that. It would have been, but it's not that. Like that game did it a lot better. But the first game that made me realizing that that was going to be a thing. It's not a game that I'd say is like great, but it's Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword. You know, I never got a
Heavenly
chance to
Sword
play
was the
that.
first time.
Like
Heavenly Sword was the first time I saw like facial capture technology that looked that good. And I was like, oh, you can actually make the actors look like the actors. That's really fucking cool.
Like I think I have had like Heavenly Sword like in my watch list on eBay for a while, but I have not bought it. I never bought it, but I did want it. I played a demo for it, and I felt like I was like, okay, this is like God of War, and it's not. I was like, okay, I don't hate it, but I didn't play enough of it to like know whether or not. I just didn't play enough of it. This room right here reminds me of Twilight Prince. Not Twilight Prince, but Ocarina of Time. There's a room in the game where you have to climb on boxes
But
to progress, and it always reminds me of Twilight.
it's another game.
Legend of Zelda, which is odd given how David feels about Legend of Zelda. Well,
I'm
not
trying to
odd,
think
but
like another
ironic.
game like that really made me feel like that. Oh, this is the next level of things. Like, and I'm not gonna count like things I played when I was a kid because like I didn't have the
The
mind to
wherewithal.
even like wonder like that far ahead. Um, Portal 2 is probably the first like puzzle game that really made me go like this game is tickling that part of my brain that I never knew existed
I didn't even know I
because
wanted to tickle.
I felt really like I felt really smart. Like it made me feel smart even though I knew like the game gave me all the tools to figure it out pretty easily. But when I figured out how to do it, I always felt really good.
And that's, in my opinion, like exactly what a puzzle game should make you feel. Like a puzzle game should always make you feel like the smart boy when you finish it. Like when you figure
Yeah.
the puzzle out. Like I
Like
was,
you shouldn't leave that puzzle saying, "Well, that was bullshit." You should feel like,
and
"Oh,
that's
that was
why I
really hard,
fucking,
but I really worked it out."
which is why the swapper when I first played it did give me that feeling of like aha. But I clearly think like I must have like I knew that was gonna happen. I fucking knew that was gonna happen. Wait, can I just? No, I cannot. Like yeah, I don't remember looking the solutions up, but I clearly had to because unless I've somehow gotten dumber over the years, which is completely possible. But yeah, that's why Typo Man wasn't good.
Yeah, because there was very specific ways to do all of those things. And
Yeah, it never felt like you were in charge. Because I feel like that's how like the feeling Catherine should give most players. But Catherine was just, in my opinion, unforgiving.
trial and error. It's just trial and error.
Yeah, it was like, and I feel like that's. I said this about a game I played not too long ago. I forget what it was. It might have been something I was watching somebody play. Games that require you to fail before you can succeed, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
Kratos, the
I
gods are
can't
pleased with your
remember if it
progress,
was
Hold up.
Jade
but your
Empire.
current skills will not
Am I
be
waiting?
enough to defeat the minions of
Okay.
Ares. I offer you the power to freeze your enemies where they stand,
Ouch, that hurt.
but you must earn such a gift.
Yeah, boy, look at that Kratos face. Mm-hmm. Look at them titties. Mm-hmm. David Jaffe's a horny little boy.
He really is.
He has an interesting YouTube
The
channel.
queen of the Gorgons. Bring me her head, Kratos.
And I did play
and
Drawn to
I
Death for a
will
while. I
give
just
you
didn't
the
like it.
ability to wield its
We
power.
play a lot of things for a while that we didn't like.
Well, when I say for a while, I mean I gave it a fair chance. I gave it a fair shake. And it just wasn't good. And it had a lot to do with the fact that there was nothing I could do by myself. And it was like, it was exclusively an online, like, FPS. Like, it wasn't good. Like, this is kind of, like, I know, like, it just sounds like, well, you just like button mashing. Like, first off, I do. Button mashing is cathartic as fuck. Like, to not necessarily, to be able to take your brain. Like, I've been able to, like, converse for the most part while playing the game, and that's because button mashing, especially when you have, like, certain combos, like, ingrained in your head because you played the game for a really long time. Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. Come on. I'm pretty sure this also changes the difficulty.
Freeze and
Is
destroy them
when you change
all
the
with
difficulty, like
Medusa's
those
gaze, and the
are
power
either
of
more
the
forgiving or
Gorgon will
just
be
easier to
yours.
pull off. No pun intended.
But I have next two genres of things that like blew my mind, if you would like.
Okay.
So Ratchet and Clank, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was.
Deadlock was the shit.
Yeah, that one was the best one still in my. But
That was the first Ratchet and Clank played. The first Ratchet and Clank game I played. Also yours.
yeah,
Like, hell, the first God of War game I played was yours.
yeah.
Like, yeah, so like by all
I
means,
turned you on to a lot of really awesome games.
I still haven't played Brave Prince of Musashi though. Which
I don't know how well that will have aged, but I still, like, personally, I could still go back and play that game and love it. That game changed the way I felt about, like, RPGs, because it really opened up the idea, like, an RPG can be action? That's crazy. Which I know that's not the first game to do it. Like, that was not the first game. The first game was, I think, probably Secret of Mana? Because that was technically an action RPG. I still think it's dog ass because I don't like the way it plays. That's a personal opinion. Like I think
I've never played Secret of Mana, but I know I know Secret of Mana is definitely like high in a lot of people's opinions.
It is. It's one of those games
that you're not allowed to talk bad things about.
It's a game changer. I just don't like it. I like the charm of it. I like the designs. I don't think the main characters are all that interesting, and I think the gameplay is
game, right?
Yep, it was a Super Nintendo game.
Did they give us?
It's one of the first. Yeah. No.
I don't.
No, they have not given us that. I will say, like, it's one of the first games that let you play with 3 players at one time on the Super Nintendo.
Wow. Wait, 3 humans?
Yeah, 3 human players. You could play as all 3 of the characters at one time if you had the adapter thing.
That, my friend, is what we call banana lookies.
But going back to Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was probably the first game, like, because again, I don't remember which one was my first one, but it gave me an idea of how I think upgrading should work, as opposed to, like, putting stuff into stuff. Like, the more you use this specific thing, the better it gets. Like, that entire system, like...
Which is, this game. God of War does that.
Yeah.
Again, he's not talking shit. I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but I do feel like, because with Ratchet and Clank, because Insomniac Games did Ratchet and Stank, and I would like to also point out that the original Ratchet and Clank games are unplayable if you go back and play them.
Awful.
Like, and I mean, like, from I played this as a kid, and now I'm playing it again because I really enjoyed them. I have the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games on PS3. They are damn near unplayable. They're not. I don't know if I would say they are bad, but I will damn sure say that they. Well, I clearly can't jump over there. They just aren't. They're unforgiving for one. Like, some of them, like, they're kind of hard.
Yeah. I'll say Ratchet and Clank 1 and Jak and Daxter 1 definitely are 2 of those, like, you could probably skip these and live your entire life happily. Like, just watch a compilation of the cutscenes somewhere.
Well, I would say, like, if you play the remake of Ratchet and Clank, if you want to, like have an idea of, like, what the original game was like, because it's basically that, but upgraded, and it, like, upscale, like, the visuals are better, and it's just a... Like, I had a lot of fun with the Ratchet and Clank game PS4. Like, I played it. I didn't just play it, I platinumed it.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I still think the other games were better because
Oh no, I
It's
would
only because
love
they
to play.
did,
Love to play Deadlocked one more time.
or
Like
Up Your Arsenal. Both of
I
those
never
were.
played Up Your Arsenal. I did play the Quest for Booty though. What?
No, I'm thinking about the next. Okay, so I'm trying to think of which one came out
Something's
first.
about to happen, and I don't know what it is. Because I'm either about to jump over here and regret my decisions.
Regret your
There we
decisions.
go.
Well, let me know when I need to be quiet.
No, you good. Like God, fucking sluts.
I don't
Oh
remember
my
if
god.
Infamous came out first or if Arkham
Prototype.
Asylum came out first.
What Asylum?
Arkham Asylum.
Infamous came out first.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it was either that or that like I wouldn't even say that because technically speaking, Spider-Man 2 gave me the idea of what a super
What a superhero
like
game should feel like.
it should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And a lot of
like
people
in a
apparently
grander
don't know
scale.
about. Like I've met people who don't know, who never heard of Spider-Man 2 or never heard of like how much praise that game got. And and when like Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 came out, I was like, as as much as good as that game is, again another game I fucking platinumed. Like I put time into that. What was I was gonna say with like Ratchet and Clank, I played that game 4 times. I think I played Ratchet and Clank 4 fucking times because like there was certain like oh shoot, what's over here?
Um,
Just drop down, my guy.
but for choices, like choice in video games, Jade Empire or Knights of the Old Republic for Xbox. I don't remember which one I played first, but basically
All right,
any of the early BioWare games
here we
were
go.
the reason. Like it gave me like the idea of what a choice in a video game should be like. Like it should actually affect the ending and the characters in the game. Because that game had drastically different like outcomes depending on how you interacted with the characters.
Is this the yeah? Okay, no, okay. If I'm pretty sure I can open this damn door, and it will give me a shortcut. Yeah, I would say like the first game that like I played that made me think, oh, like your choices can matter, was probably Heavy Rain. Now I had played Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit to those who live in the wrong countries, but fucking like Indigo Prophecy was again a game I wouldn't go back and play again, although I have it installed and I probably will
Yeah.
play it at some point. But that game is hard. Even Mike was like, "Yeah, that's a nightmare." Like replaying through that is like a pain in the dick. There we go. Damn, I almost didn't make that. Fuck. And then I jump down here, and then we can take the shortcut back up. Okay. I know this game. I know God of War 1. Because I played, okay, I'll be real with y'all. I played God of War 1 the first time I ever, ooh, daddy, this was a long time ago. I remember playing God of War 1 on my PS2. Let's see. I had played, I think it was either Ghost of Sparta or Chains of Olympus, and you owned it.
Yep.
I don't remember how I got them. Like
I'm
I
pretty sure
think,
it's Shape of Olympus.
like I'm pretty sure I bought like I didn't, yeah, but I ended up with okay. You had Chains of Olympus, and then I bought Ghost of Sparta digitally on PSP, and I think that was like the start of like a fucking like the world I knew to be real, because the day I finished Chains of Olympus, like I remember I think I was out like I basically kept that damn like PSP with nothing but that in it. Well, it was a digital game, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I played that a lot. And the day I beat it, I started it over. Like as soon as I beat it, I just started over. I started it over. Just I didn't have to, but yeah, that game that to me was like this is the shit. And I remember asking you like, are all the God of War games like this? And you were like, yeah, basically. And I was like, all right. And so after playing those two, I probably on eBay or Amazon. I got a copy of. You know what? Let me go ahead and see what's up here. I think there's nothing. Okay, in later games, apparently you can slide down. Ow. Yeah, I played it on PS2. And then I got my PS3, and my PS3 was the God of War edition, which is a lie. It was the God of War bundle. So it came with God of War. No, it came with the God of War collection. So it came with God of War 1 and 2. And like this disc, the one I'm playing. And it also came with a fucking red controller, which I broke because I spilled liquid on it.
Nothing like
Jesus.
it.
Come on. Kratos!
That's another one. I mean, there's some simple ones that I can throw out there, like the true horror. Like when I discovered what true horror was, that was Silent Hill 2. I can gush about that game for days. I already have. You don't need me to anymore. The first game that gave me the true exhilarating idea of freedom, like that I can do anything I
can't
literally
do
want
this.
to, that was Minecraft.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Minecraft was the first time it was literally like, you can literally do anything you want to. Like, there are no limits.
Jesus, that was difficult. Fuck. This is a fucking PS2 controller. That was... Fuck, that was hard.
I could hear it. The audience could hear it.
Yeah, I can see it on the fucking capture. Okay, well, it's 21 minutes. This is episode 3. It's in the can. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So until next time, my lovely peoples and peepettes, like, comment, subscribe. You know, hopefully you gain some insight. I guess I can talk about mine in the next episode because the categories, like, basically take everything he said, like the different categories of the first time I experienced this was this game, and like give your insight on those, because one question that always gets tossed around in gaming circles is what was the first game you played, or what was your first console? Technically speaking, I have no idea what the first game I ever played was. My first console, the first console I owned, was a Super Nintendo, but I had access to 2 different Ataris and an NES. The NES wasn't very good, like it didn't work. I still have it. I have it, like, but it didn't work very well. But like, I didn't get good at video games until the 64, and it took me a while into the 64, mostly because I was young. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I played mostly Sega. Sega was the one that I got like super into.
Gross. But until next time.
But wait, if you cannot, for whatever reason, feel like you can comment anything because you're just the shy one, then comment the words "game changer."
There's nothing else. There's no one else watching. It's just you. Literally, it's just you. I don't have an audience except you. So until next time, guys, we're out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace!